you mentioned paternity fraud by men, that it didn't happen, and I have to disagree with you. I know lots of cases where that happened.
Shout out to the lead attorney. If you're not already subscribed to this brother, I need you to go and subscribe to him right now. He's an expert in family law for over 20 years practicing in Atlanta. Very smart, knowledgeable, and experienced. On a recent live stream, he was discussing paternity fraud. Now, what is paternity fraud? Paternity fraud occurs when a man is incorrectly identified as the biological father of a child. Now get this, the underlying assumption of paternity fraud is that the mother deliberately misidentified the biological father, meaning the mother of the child lied and said that a man was her baby daddy and she knew that he wasn't. So paternity fraud, that was the topic of the discussion that I'm about to show you right now. That's what the lead attorney was talking about on his broadcast, paternity fraud. But you always have these dingbats that want to disagree just to disagree. And that's exactly what this woman did that you're about to hear. Listen to what this delusional disagreeable Debbie did.
You mentioned paternity fraud by men, that it didn't happen, and I have to disagree with you. I know lots of cases where that happened.
I'm saying that it can't happen without cooperation. You're never, listen, a woman knows.
Well, I can tell you. I'm telling you, no,
okay.
I disagree.
Okay, convince me how a woman doesn't know what child came out of her body. I'm waiting.
Well, no. When you say paternity fraud, I mean, that's a broad, but I know of men who, when I say fraud, for example, this is the case I'm talking about. He said that he didn't know the girl was pregnant or whatever, so the baby was like 2 years old. And
wait, let's stop. Let's just stop for a second. What does paternity mean? Paternity means, it comes from the word paternal, which means father. All right, so
right.
You don't know who the father is. All right, now a woman can get a DNA test anytime. That's what I'm talking about. The woman participates in it because the woman has the control of the child. If anyone,
let me finish.
Okay,
he was going to pay the attorney general's office or whoever conducts those child support things. He got hold to a worker and he was going to pay them to change the test or lie. And he almost got them to do it, except the guy chickened out in the end. So isn't that fraud? He's the father. That is paternity fraud.
This woman is absolutely crazy. First of all, she's trying to redefine what paternity fraud means. And the situation she just described, even if this is a true story, that is not paternity fraud. I really don't believe her story anyway about someone in the attorney general's office changing the results of a test. Something like that could be changing the system. But if the mother, she has the test results from the actual lab, that wouldn't hold up. That's why no one with common sense who's not interested in going to jail and losing their job would do this. That's why she had to say he attempted to do it, but they chickened out at the last minute. So even the scenario she's bringing up, it didn't happen.
So you're saying that the guy was going to get, let's say, a blood test, and he was going to pay off the scientist who was doing the blood test to change the work, to change the lab results?
The attorney general's office, whoever's the workers, whoever was conducting the blood work, the test, whoever, he was going to just pay some worker there to change. And he almost got it completed. He had the money to do it, except the guy chickened out in the end. That's what he said. So isn't that paternity fraud? I mean, if men could get out of it like that, they could. Just y'all blaming the women. I know a lot of y'all men wants the DNA. Yeah, you're the daddy. Yeah, women do a lot of stuff. Can you blame them? They just looking for the best for their child, like you said. But men just don't have a choice. But if they could find a way out to be the daddy, they would. And that's one case. So I just wanted to disagree with you.
Yeah, you really just called to disagree with him. This whole novel she attempted to write just for the sake of arguing, it made no sense.
And that's one case. And on the flip side, what about all the fathers who really know they are not the biological father, and they are with these women, and they know they just lied to the kid forever, and then the kid is like 30 years old, and they're like, "That's not my daddy." Isn't that paternity fraud?
No. That's just lying to the kids. Like if the man knows, it's not paternity fraud, right? Well, here's the thing. Paternity fraud is when a woman says that a man is the father when she knows or should know, has a reason to know that he's not the father or that he could not be the father, right? And the man believes it. Now, you can argue that if a woman says you are the father and the man knows conclusively that he's not the father, but he chooses to stay in the woman's life anyway, you can say that's not paternity fraud. For example, if a man isn't, let's say I'm infertile and my girlfriend winds up pregnant and she says, oh, this is yours. And I'm like, oh, okay, but I know it's not mine because I'm infertile. It's not really paternity fraud. She's kind of committing paternity fraud, but it's not working because I know it's not mine. So you're saying, what if the man knows and just raises the child up? That happens a lot.
Yeah, he's lying to the child. Yes, it's not a legal fraud if he can't go to jail, and some people would say that's noble, but look at the child. Maybe the child wanted to know who his biological father was.
Nah, what about the mother who lied to both the man and the child about who the real father was? She's saying anything to take accountability away from the mother. And the fraudulent mother, she would be lucky if she was able to get a simp to stay with her, even though he knew the child was not his and that she cheated on him or whatever happened for her to come up with this baby that's not his and he sticks around. Of course, if a story like that happened and a man did that, then that would be on him, but that's not what we're talking about. She's making up an argument just to argue. The lead attorney has a lot of patience because I would have been banged it on.
Maybe he could still love the stepfather, but that's a whole lie that was told to that child forever. Some people take that to the grave.
Yeah, so, but usually in those cases, it's for the child's benefit.
Right.
Guys, listen, children are not adults. And, you can't give children adult rights, to be honest. I mean, children need decisions made for them. And, if your 2-year-old is going to want to know who his father is, but his father's pookie and got dope in the house.
How come it's okay when the man lies, but not when the woman lies? Is not okay. It's still a lie. It's just that you have more of an issue. It's all fraud to me. You just have an issue with that kind of fraud.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Jan. What are you talking about if the man lies and the woman lies?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it's like anytime you're lying about the whoever the father is, it's a lie. Whether it's on a DNA test or lying, I'm just saying that it's lying. Is it not lying? It's fraudulent. What's the definition of fraud?
You keep saying it is it lying? I don't know what it is. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, I was just giving a definition of to me what paternity fraud. I just gave you an example when you say you disagree.
She said she just gave a definition of paternity fraud. So she decided she was going to change the definition to make it have some other meaning that will fit her narrative that she's trying to create here.
Agree that it's in the interest of the child, fine, but the example still stands about the guy who wanted to pay the workers to lie about that. That's a paternity fraud. I'm just saying that men do. I know of cases like that where they lie about, the paternity of the child. They just, it's as hard.
They? Is it the men or the women? Jan, this is so confusing.
The men. If a guy is saying, huh?
You're using all these pronouns. We're talking about men, women, and children. You're talking about they.
Men. If a man, you said that men do not commit paternity fraud. As far as this DNA stuff, I mean, what about, you're assuming that a lot of men want to know. I know a lot of men who really don't want to know.
That's not true. That you do not know a lot of men who do not want to know.
I do. Okay, just like I just gave you paternity fraud.
No, you don't know. You might know one man who tells you he doesn't want to know, or you might know one man who really knows, but he's telling you he doesn't want to know. But you don't know a lot of men who don't want to know, Jan. That's just not true.
Well, I know several examples. I mean, I know more that, in my case, that didn't want to know than do want to know.
All right, Jan, let's go down this road, Jan. How many men do you know that have children and they do not want to know if the children is theirs or not? Since
The
you
first
know a
one-
lot, you said you know a lot, right? You want
Yeah,
to come
well,
up here
okay,
and
the
wait,
first
wait,
one
wait,
is
wait, no, 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 no,
let
no,
me tell
no, no,
you.
no, 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 no. You gonna come up here and talk to you talk to an attorney, right? Fine. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this formally. Then you say you know a lot of men who have kids and they do not want to know if they're the father or not. How
Let me give you
many?
an example.
No, no, no. I don't want an example. I'm asking you a specific question. You say you know a lot of men who have kids and they don't want to know if they're the father or not. How many men do you know? You say you know a lot. How many men have kids and they don't want to know if they're the fathers or not? How many?
Well, at least one now.
First, she said she knew a lot of men that fit this scenario she just made up, but now she can only think of just one. Somehow, before the end of the conversation, she was able to come up with a second guy in her mind that fit the category, and then a third. But it sounds like she's lying about it all. And this is what they do to win an argument. They lie. Check out the full video here. I have the link below in the description. Want to see more content like this? Support the channel, just like Sagittarian Prince supported the channel and Isaac also supported the channel. You guys can do the same thing. The link to the Cash App is below in the description. Ladies, fellas, you want a balanced analysis and the truth about topics like this? Make sure you subscribe to this channel and don't forget to like and share.